You're in a good place now. You are listening to Perspectives with Ashley Burgess.
Welcome back live to Live Your True Life Perspectives, and I'm your host, Ashley Burgess. On today's show, I'm discussing the year in review. It's time to begin to do our annual review of our year. The analyzation, the appraisal of what took place this year in our life to better understand the situation, to better understand our life, and to better understand the direction and the trajectory that we want to be on. It's time to analyze. It's time to understand. It's time to process, and it's time to prepare for the next timeline. And it's interesting because we don't want to miss out on the moment right now, and that's why in this moment, in these next moments, for the next hour, we're going to look at the review of your year. Beginning with the opportunities that have come through for this year, the things that have happened, the things that have come to fruition this year that was expected, wasn't expected, the things that we are looking toward. And these opportunities are so amazing when we see them for what they are. Understanding the opportunities, analyzing the opportunities, and seeing the opportunities. And I find that many opportunities actually, we see certain things as opportunities. So certain things are defined as an opportunity. But is that always the truth? Why do certain things have to be an opportunity? Why can't other things be an opportunity? And I want us to look at those too, the silent opportunities that we've had this year, the silent opportunities. Because a lot of times with these silent opportunities, we don't realize the value of that. We don't realize the situation in that. We don't see the power in those silent opportunities. And sometimes those silent opportunities are silent because we don't see necessarily that they are an opportunity. We don't see necessarily that resonates as an opportunity. We might see it as a pain process or a problematic situation. We don't realize the value in that situation. So we're going to be talking about that as well. So those silent opportunities. We're going to also be talking about the things that we feel that we missed out on. The things that we missed out on, the opportunities possibly not taken. Because again, that can be painful, but sometimes, and more often than not, some of those opportunities not taken is not necessarily an opportunity at all. It could have been misappropriated as an opportunity in its entirety. So we definitely want to look at that. We also want to look at, the things that we still want to accomplish, the accomplishments that we still want to have. And those are things that we need to look at. Those are things that we want to analyze. Those are things that we want to tap into. Definitely looking at those opportunities. So let's begin with opportunities, the things that we define as opportunities that took place this year in review. I want you to begin at the beginning of the year and walk through it. And it's a great idea to get a journal out right now and start writing down these things. Start writing down the various things that happened throughout the year with you. Start looking at that. Start analyzing it. Start being aware of that. And so some of these opportunities that come right into your mind, write those down. Those will be those opportunities. Bam. Okay, that happened. This happened. This happened at work. I got a raise. I got a promotion. I got a new job. I had this. I had that. Whatever the opportunities are. Now, they're definitely not all about work. They can be about personal life. They can be about family. There can be all different types of opportunities that we're looking for and being able to see those opportunities. So I want you to write those down because a lot of times we don't see all of our opportunities. We don't see the value of our opportunities. We don't see how important these opportunities are, and we might not be able to analyze that completely. So it could be family, career, home life, friends, all kinds of different things with these types of opportunities. Maybe we had the opportunity of meeting someone that's become a very good friend. Maybe we had the opportunity of taking a trip that we had not planned on. Maybe we had an opportunity of meeting like-minded people. Maybe we had an opportunity of getting that, that raise that we wanted, or working with those people that we truly wanted. And those can be very valuable in nature and really help us to really understand ourselves. And so this is very, very, very powerful stuff. So I want you to begin to write down those opportunities and really think about this. And this in and of itself could take a mighty long time. So things that have come to fruition that you are thankful for, things that have come to fruition that you are thankful for, I want you to really analyze that and write that down. Put that down, write that down, analyze that, prepare for that, and that will be really helpful for you. On the flip side, a more challenging journaling will be about the silent opportunities, things that are somewhat silent in nature, things that don't seem to appear completely as an opportunity immediately. And so things that might have gone under the radar, honestly, when it came to opportunities. And I want you to think about that. What are those? Some of those opportunities could be veiled as not an opportunity. Some of those opportunities that are the silent opportunities could be actually veiled as not an opportunity. And in that case, that's something that we need to analyze, because those things can go under the radar completely, leaving us not realizing the opportunities that we've had, the experiences that we've had that have really gone far into shaping our life this year. Again, it's the year in review. And some of those silent opportunities could be things that were somewhat challenging. Some of those silent opportunities could be things that we felt we had to work really hard for or had some challenging times with. And I want you to think about that. Those are the situations that we need to look at and we need to ponder. And I think that is valuable in its resources as well, because those silent opportunities help us to understand ourselves, help us to understand where we are, what we're doing, and all the things in between, which can be super powerful. So thinking about those silent opportunities, there might have been things that happened that, it seemed like it took a long time to fruition. Maybe there was some hurdles that you had to jump in the process to get what you wanted, or hurdles to get where you needed. And those hurdles seemed overwhelming. And I want you to think about that, because that could also be within the silent opportunities of things that you've gained, no matter the pain and the suffering and the struggles that you went through. I want you to think about that. It's always very interesting when you start analyzing your year in review, because you start analyzing the things that you went through, the stuff that you did, the things that happened. All of those things are very powerful, and they all shape your life. And that's why I feel like when we begin to write these things down, we begin to see it for what it is, and we begin to see how much stuff we've actually accomplished. Because otherwise, for me, I tend to live in the moment. I try to live in the moment more often than not, as much as possible. But in the process of living in the moment, sometimes you forget. You don't forget, but the past goes away so quickly, and the past opportunities and things that have happened kind of pass by so quickly that you don't put a lot of thought into it, and you don't see a lot of value, and you don't hold on to it for a very long time. It passes by very quickly. You move past it very quickly, and you move on. So this is going to help us to acknowledge, because basically we're acknowledging the things that are going on. We're acknowledging the things we have going on. We're acknowledging the situation. We're acknowledging all these things we have worked on, we've created, and we want to give, credit where credit's due. We want to analyze that. We want to give credit where credit's due, and in order to give credit to ourselves, we have to really look at that. Another thing that I want you to think about is what's missed out, the opportunity not taken. What's missed out? So what is missed out on? What has been missed out on? And, those are things that maybe might feel painful. Those are things that we might be painting a certain way. We might have painted it a certain way, and so therefore we feel like we've been let down, or we've let down ourselves, or we feel like we've messed up on something, or we've missed the boat. And those things in and of itself can help us to make change and leverage ourselves in a way that's very helpful. But at the same time, we have to look at it and understand that some of those things are not really missed out on at all. Some of the things that we feel like we might have missed out on are things that might have been good that we didn't make. It might have been on things that we didn't need to be a part of. It might be also kind of a reflection on things that might not have actually worked out. Now, there's certain missed opportunities that might sting for a while, but sometimes those might come back around. But in the process, it's really analyzing and understanding that, things do happen. Processes do happen. Things do happen. But at the same time, we're allowed to really focus on that and say, okay, hey, I'm going to focus my energy as much as I need to understand why I missed that opportunity. I'm going to really look at it. Is this really an opportunity? Was it really an opportunity? And if it was, and if it's something that I really want to do, okay, but is it really what I really want to do? Is that really what I missed out on? Did I miss any of that? Did I miss anything? And if you don't really feel like you did, then maybe you didn't miss out on anything at all. Maybe in reality, there was no missing out at all. In fact, it was quite the opposite. We actually were able to offset a situation that might have not have been to the best of our ability. It might be also a situation where we actually learn and look at that situation to analyze what happened in that situation. Why was it a missed opportunity? Why do I feel like it was a missed opportunity? And what can I glean from the situation and take from that to learn more, to understand more, to actually kind of make myself more well-rounded and get to where I need to go? Another situation I want us to think about too in this timeline of opportunities are the accomplishments of what we have really learned, the accomplishments of what we have learned, and the accomplishments of the things that we've done. So the things that we've created in life, the accomplishments that we've had this year, I want you to full blow write that out on your journal. So I want you to write down in your journal, I want you to put accomplishments. And I want you to underline that. And if you want to, the best thing to do is to number them, because we're able to number them. And the good thing about numbering them is you see what's important to you, because the important stuff will come up first. You also see maybe where work needs to be done, because maybe there's some accomplishments that are more important than other accomplishments, but they just don't have a title, or they don't have money in tune to them. It might be something about family or children or something to that level, where that's something that needs to be put up higher in the totem pole than the other things, and acknowledging those accomplishments as is, and acknowledging the level of that accomplishment, even if it doesn't have a title or money attached to it. Very important stuff to think about, because this can also segue into some things that we might be holding on to that we no longer need to hold on to in our life, based on pre-existing conditions, the way that we were trained and educated as a child, the value of what we were told about as a child, how things are named valuable, how are things categorized as valuable, how do these things work? And this is very interesting to understand, because a lot of times we buy into the way that we were trained growing up. We buy into that, we categorize it as that, we learn from that, and from there, that is where we live our life. That is where we are, and we can make great changes. But we have to allow those changes to happen based on our own changes and our own feelings about what matters in our own life. So we have to say, okay, I might have been brought up that money is everything. I need to make money. I was taught this by my parents. I went through this. Money was everything. If I didn't make it, I was nothing. And if that's the case, okay, you might be coming from a structure where you feel like you're not worthy if you're not making money, because you were told how important money was growing up. On the other side, it could be the exact extreme, and some of you are just in the middle, but the extreme could be, money is the root of all evil, all that stuff. You need to do something because you love it and because it benefits society. And so there you are, struggling perhaps on another level, accomplishments, but struggling financially because you are putting everything above that financial piece. And that's understandable. So these are things that we want to focus on and think about, and we can see that analysis as we write down the accomplishments. We get a psychological viewpoint of our own psyche and understand where we're coming from. Stay tuned. Live Your True Life Perspectives with me, your host, Ashley Burgess, will be back in. Don't turn the channel. I'll be back talking about more in your year in review. Live Your True Life Perspectives with your host, me, Ashley Burgess, will be back this time in 2 shakes.
Turn it up and jump in the deep end on Perspectives. Now, here's Ashley.
Welcome back live to Live Your True Life Perspectives, and I'm your host, Ashley Burgess. On today's show, I'm discussing the concept of doing a year in review, taking your entire year and analyzing it and looking at it and journaling it to really see what happened this year and begin to analyze those things that are so important. And if you're really on top of things, next year we can do it as we're doing it. You can actually begin to journal these things in real time instead of going backwards and doing things. But right now, we're starting it from scratch, and we're realizing that in order to really understand what we've accomplished and the opportunities and the gains that we've made in life, we need to be able to have some sort of analyzation of it, some sort of written documentation of it to show ourselves, not for other people,